Hello there! How's it going, everybody? Really excited to do some art with you today. So, for today's lesson, this is a really interesting kind of drawing idea that you could do over and over and do it in different ways. You're going to pick two contrasting objects. That might be a new word, contrasting, and combine them into a drawing. All right, so contrast means different, okay? Contrast means two things that don't really have anything to do with each other, okay? So like, for instance, let's think of an example. I mean, you could just pick any two random things for this. So like, we have some examples here. A cabin and a coffee cup, right? They're two totally different things, but this person has kind of put them together into a picture. How about this one? A light bulb and a city. Different things. I mean, they might have some things in common if you really think about it, but they're just totally different, right? A light bulb is a thing you put into the ceiling. A city is an entirely different thing completely, right? So that's why they're contrasting. And then a paintbrush and a surfer, right? Different. So you're going to pick two things. Could be two things you really like, or it could be maybe one thing you really like and a random object. Doesn't matter. Just pick two things that are like pretty different, wouldn't usually like see mixed together, right? So that's where it's up to you to be pretty creative. And I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to make one too. So you can draw while I'm drawing if you want to, or you can just watch mine, wait till I'm done. That is completely up to you. Okay, so here we go. I gotta pick some things. And I'm gonna probably start with a pencil first and then go in with a marker. And yours don't have to look like these drawings at all. They don't have to be black and white. That's just kind of what I picked for this, for the examples, because those gave me some cool ideas. But yours can be any type of drawing that you like, all right? Now let me... There we go. That's good. Okay, I'm going to combine... Let's see, what would be interesting? I like to draw frogs a lot, so I'll start with a frog, and then I'm gonna spin around and pick the first thing that I see. And here we go. A sink. Okay, I looked at the sink, so I'm combining a frog and a sink into a drawing. Not anything I would have thought of unless I did it like that. So, here's my sink. And now I could just draw a frog in a sink. That was my first idea, and that'd be fine. But let's make this really wild and crazy drawing. All right, let's really mash these two things together. Watch what I'm going to do here. Okay, here's the sink, there's the faucet, and the little knobs. Okay, now I'm seeing those knobs as like, those are the frog's eyes, and this is going to be the frog's mouth. And the water can come splashing out and be like the frog's tongue. That's interesting. So now I will make the body of the frog and draw some legs. I love drawing little frog legs. And a big chin of a frog. And their cute little chubby front arms. They kind of point inward like that. Wow, that's a weird drawing. Who would have ever thought of that? So if you make art that like just ends up looking really weird, it's just kind of weird art, there's actually a name for that. It's called surrealism. Surreal. So, you know, if you like making weird pictures like this, it's a whole thing. You're not the only one. Surrealism. So I'm gonna maybe outline this with some color. I was gonna do black, but maybe I'll do some more interesting color. I'll do like this bright blue outline. And that's just a weird picture. I don't know what it means. I bet if you showed this to a bunch of people, somebody would come up with a meaning. You know, people are funny like that. That's part of the fun of art is you just put something out there and then see how people take it. Maybe the whole point is just to make you go, what? Just to make you go, what the hey? What the what? And that's fun. It's fun to look at a artwork and be like, what is going on there? Right? That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be have like this huge meaning to it. No. It can. But you know what? For it to just give you a feeling of being confused and maybe somewhat entertained, that's good enough for me. So I outlined it. Now I'm going to color it. I'm going to do some like dark and light shading for my frog. And you know what? I might as well make it rainbow colored because it's a pretty wild and crazy drawing as it is. So why not just go full on weird with it, right? So when I do rainbow colors, I kind of follow like certain order of colors. So my greens go into yellows. So what I did was I put all my green down, and now I'm going to put all my yellows. I'm just kind of working throughout the whole thing to save me some time. So now I just go do the next part, which is yellow here, right? The green's always going to turn into yellow. That's good. And then the next would be orange. Yellow goes into orange. You got to sharpen this. Harden. Oh no, that's fine. So I do all my orange. You can overlap them a little bit if you're doing rainbows like me. Once again, you don't have to do rainbows. You don't have to do it just like me. This is just what I'm doing. And then maybe we'll throw the orange down here. After orange, I like to go into some red. This is like just the colors of the rainbow, just the way that they appear naturally. And you do that, and you end up getting colors that blend into each other very nicely. From red, surprisingly, we get purple. Red goes kind of right into purple. And like I said, I'm kind of working over the whole thing at once so that I don't have to keep switching all the time. Okay, and then purple's going to go right into my blue. And guess what? The blue comes right back home to green. There we go. Okay. And on the inside of the sink, maybe we'll just do steely gray. Like the frog is really interesting, but the sink is kind of just like realistic sink. So to make it look like steel, I'm like coloring it dark and then getting lighter. Dark to light. See that? And that's going to give it that steely look. And then maybe I'll leave like some streaks and leave some white to make it look like it's shining. Right? Dark to light. Every single part is going dark to light. Even the bottom. Dark over here. Getting lighter and lighter. Getting lighter and lighter. See that? Okay. So we've got a completely normal looking sink. Nothing weird here. And that's just my drawing of a totally normal sink, right? Just a sink? What do you mean? What do you mean it looks weird? It's just a sink. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I'll just color the water nicely like that. A few splashes here and there. And that's a weird drawing. There you go. I hope you end up with some interesting kind of weird drawing. You can even go more with it. Like I could just keep rainbows coming out of it in all directions, or I just keep developing this. So there's my sink / frog. I combined two different ideas that are contrasting, that are totally different from each other. Made them into one thing. Well, you know what's going to be the final touch? A fly kind of buzzing away from it. Like, wow, I don't know how to deal with this. This is a new situation for me. Poor fly. Okay, cool. Well, I hope you had fun with that. Here, let me put the camera back so I can say goodbye proper. This is everyone's favorite part when I'm fidgeting with the camera. Okay. Okay, well, goodbye, everybody. I hope you had fun with that. I would love for you to send me some of those pictures of that lesson because I don't know what you're going to come up with. I've never done this lesson before. This is new, and I bet you're going to come up with some pretty wild stuff. So, yeah, have fun with it. Take care, everybody.